video after video of Americans fighting Americans. If you don't think we're in a civil war, you're being really naive. We are. And I've been saying this for a number of years. We're fighting the war that some of us thought ended in 1865. But General Robert E. Lee surrendered the military. He never surrendered politically or culturally. I feel really bad about it. I think ICE is out of control. I think it should be banned or greatly reformed when a sane president and Congress get back into power, and we will. I count myself among the sane. I wanted to talk a little bit about paying it forward and doing something kind, and I'm going to take in a story from my new book, Raising Healthy Kids, Protecting Your Children from Hidden Chemical Toxins, to show you how important it is to be thinking about our American family, no matter whether you are MAGA red as blue can be, no matter whether you are far left, far right. There are some things that we can all agree on. Like, for the most part, we all hate these corporations that are dominating our lives. They're not honest. I think people from all spectrums have some real skepticism about corporations. And also, whether you're MAGA, MAHA, or blue, you know that pesticides in your food are harming children, our future generations. And I want to give you an example of why buying organic foods is so much more than just your own health. If you've never gone on an organic diet, I really want to suggest that you try it. You know, sometimes we don't know how good things can be until we make a change. We think that the shit that we're living in is the way things are and will always be. And I'm telling you, that's not true. And one of the ways we can start changing things in our own lives and in this American family of ours, I mean it, is through organic shopping. And I'm going to tell you a little story about strawberries and lettuce. For a number of years, I was paying a lot of money for organic strawberries and organic lettuce. I was doing it because it keeps me and my kids healthy. And we all are super healthy. And I attribute it to many things, but among those is the way we've kept hidden chemical toxins out of our lives. Now, everyone would tell me, David, why are you paying so much for organic strawberries? There's no difference. That's not true. Organic strawberries are vastly different than conventionally sourced ones because conventionally sourced strawberries have about 5 to 10 different pesticides and fungicides in every bite. Organic strawberries are free of these fungicides and pesticides, and these are very toxic pesticides that I'm talking about. Things like Captan that cause thalidomide-like birth defects, Valpet, which is carcinogenic. And so people would say, well, why are you buying these? And I'd say, well, because it's good for my health. Now, in my reporting, I would often go up to Northern California to an area known as the Salinas Valley. And I visited the schools early in the 2000s, and all the schools were surrounded by strawberry fields that were being sprayed with toxic pesticides, not just Captan, but diazinon, which is highly toxic, and Valpet. Gosh, there's so many different ones. As I mentioned, Captan, sometimes Dicofol, which is a DDT-based pesticide, can be sprayed on strawberries. So these are really, as I said, toxic. And these chemicals are being sprayed on the strawberry fields all around the schools. And I was speaking to a teacher when I was writing my new book, Raising Healthy Kids, who taught in the Salinas School District. He told me that, you know, these chemicals really affect the kids, and he can see it in the classroom because some kids, you know, they have a really difficult time learning. Now, I went to scientists too. There are some studies that were done on the kids of Salinas because they were so regularly exposed to pesticides, both in their environment and during birth. And it was showing kids born to moms with the highest pesticide exposures suffered from permanent brain damage. When the researchers from the University of California at Berkeley did MRI scans, they found that certain portions of the kids' brains were just like dead zones. They were not going to develop. They were not going to grow, which confirmed what my friend, the teacher, had told me about teaching in that area. So here I am buying all these strawberries and organic lettuce, both of which are growing, you know, in the Salinas Valley, which I'm talking about. In 22, I went back to visit my friend, the teacher, and I went back to all the schools. And lo and behold, the Laguna Nita School, the McKinnon School, among the schools that I visited, were now totally surrounded by organic strawberry and lettuce fields. Totally. And I called my friend, the teacher, and I said, well, what's going on here? And he said, well, it's because of people like you and other people who are buying all those organic strawberries and all that organic lettuce. It made it profitable for the farmers to switch over to these safer farming methods. And it's paying off for our students too, because they're much healthier. Salinas is becoming a healthier and healthier town as we transition to organic methods. And I was just stunned. I was standing there in these fields that had once been sprayed and that were now totally organic. The workers were safe, the kids were safe, and I almost felt like crying because all these years I'd been buying these organic strawberries and lettuce, not knowing, not realizing that the change was coming and that all my shopping was not only good for me and my kids, and it was, but I was making changes for people's lives whom I didn't even know. And when you buy organic strawberries and organic lettuce and organic foods, think about that connection that you have to those farmers who are doing the right thing, lowering the toxicity of our nation, not just physiologically, but in every way possible. So just know that when you buy organic foods, it's a whole way of life. And it really helps us as a family, as well as you and your family. It's a win-win for everyone. And I hope we can do these sorts of things and realize that our similarities as Americans are much greater than our differences. If you want to know about more great shopping tips, get my new book, Raising Healthy Kids, Protecting Your Children from Hidden Chemical Toxins. You can get it at Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, your local independent bookseller, or use the link in this post.